This story has been sent to us by Sandeep from the USA. He says that although I belong to India, I have been driving a truck in the USA for many years, and during this time I have to face many such roads and many weathers. The roads are such that there are mountains and forests in some places. During this time, an incident occurred in my life which was unforgettable. He tells me that I stopped the truck to rest in the truck. I am resting in my cabin and I put a sheet on the windshield of the truck and also on my side glasses. It was snowing there. I lay down in the truck after coming home. I switched off the lights of the truck and then I heard the sound of someone walking on the snow. Someone comes very close to my truck. The story is very interesting. If you are a listener of my old channel, then you will get an idea of what kind of truck stories I uploaded on that channel. This is a story of the same level. Listen to the story till the end. This story will hook you. Before starting the story, I would like to ask you, I have heard from many people that the like button is not visible at the bottom. The subscribe button is visible. The like button is visible to you. If it is visible, why don't you like it? This is your brother's motivation. Let's like it quickly. And those who have not subscribed yet, if you are also seeing it, then you should also subscribe. Believe me, you should subscribe. I am bringing such stories on this channel so that you will remember them. Let's move on to our story. Hello, Iffy. My name is Sandeep. I am from India and I am a truck driver from the US. It has been almost 8 years since I have been driving a truck here. An incident has happened in my life that I want to share with you. The incident is something like this. I usually leave with my truck from my logistics company. My truck had 2 trailers attached to it. Otherwise, I used to reach my destination through jungles. I was on my journey. I had left the city by now. The cold was extreme. I had turned on the heater in my truck, and I was alone in that journey because the trucks there are very strong and fully automatic, so even the driver's just a name. Anyway, back to the topic. I was on a journey. I had to travel all day and all night. It would have been nice if there were motels on the way, like in Pakistan. In India, we usually used to stop at the dhabas on the way, which are called motels so that we can freshen up and have some food and then move ahead. It was my habit to stop rarely at these motels because we Indians are used to spicy food, and I did not understand the food there, so I kept some food items with me. So I like to stop the vehicle at some beautiful night place where there was beautiful scenery, and I used to do my food making in my truck itself. After eating food, I used to take some rest and then move ahead. This way, my passion for traveling was fulfilled and my profession too. Now, the whole day had passed while traveling. I had entered the area where it was snowing heavily. The journey was quite slow due to the speed of the truck. It was getting slow anyway. The drivers had trackers installed in the vehicle and were following the truck, and they were well aware of the weather on the way, so there was no questioning. We were the drivers, but we drove the truck as if our company was its owner. It was very good. Now snowfall started. It was late in the night, and due to snowfall, the headlights did not have much range. I was tired anyway. I saw a place and parked the truck there and thought of eating something and also thought of taking some rest. Now I made curtains like a thing on the windshield and side windows of my truck. You can call them curtains. I closed those sheets and now the cabin was completely packed and nothing was visible from inside and outside. I heated the water. Due to excessive fatigue, I decided to eat Maggie. I closed the truck and I started eating Maggie. Let me tell you one thing here. The place where I was present had a very dense forest, but due to snowfall, well, everything was covered in such a way that a common man would get scared of the full sunlight here. If we were used to this thing, or I am not praising myself, but this is true. In fact, I have spent 48 years alone in a forest in my life. Then my truck broke down and I was rescued after 48 hours. That too was a very scary place, but I had spent that time alone there. Well, that too is a different story. I will share it with you someday. Not only did we drive mail trucks, but girls also drove these trucks alone on these roads. Well, after eating Maggie, I lie down on the backside of the driving seat of my truck and start using my mobile so that I can take some rest. Well, now the atmosphere outside was such that there was no light rain. Even if a whistle was heard, it was very quiet outside and I couldn't sleep because there was a fear of trucks getting stuck due to snowfall. It was dangerous. I had only 1 hour to rest. After 1 hour, I had to move the truck from there. Anyway, I was lying down and I switched off the cabin lights. I felt as if someone was coming from outside walking on the snow. At first, my mind did not accept this. Then I paid attention, and yes, there was a sound of someone walking outside as if someone was coming walking on the snow. But the tension in it was that, who could it be here in the forest? As far as I know, there is no population here for miles. Then who could it be? And the second thing was that those footsteps were coming towards my cabin. I did not want to let anyone outside know that there was someone inside the cabin. I just held my breath as if I had stopped breathing. I kept lying restlessly inside. Those footsteps had come very close to my cabin, and then something. It felt as if my soul would be taken out because my entire focus was on the sound of those footsteps. I heard that those footsteps stopped very close to my cabin. Now, as I had told you, I had locked the door inside so that nothing from outside could be seen inside, and nothing from inside could be seen outside. I was just sitting quietly, breathing hard, and concentrating on the sound. Whoever was outside was not making any movement, as if he was standing there peacefully. He's not making any movement was making me afraid. I just wanted to know his next action. Let me tell you one thing here. I had locked both the doors of the cabin from inside. Now you can believe that someone is outside. He is not making any movement, and time is also passing. Now it also seemed that whoever was there has gone away. Seeing the lights of the truck off, I thought that whoever was in the truck was not there. But if it was, so then his feet as he went, I should have heard the sound, but I was not able to hear it. My mind was thinking of many things. Now about 15 to 20 minutes pass, and I see that the lock of the driving door seemed to be turning by someone, but that door was locked. My heartbeat started getting faster, and I got very scared. No person could have stood so weak for so long in such cold outside. He was continuously trying to lock my door. I could not do anything except be helpless. This was the first time. I was so scared, and after some force, he left the lock. Now again, the same horrifying silence, and then after that, I hear the same sound of walking in the snow. Now someone was moving from the driving side to the other side. I had guessed this from the sound of footsteps. Anyway, he comes to this side now, and he tries to open the lock of this side. Now I was sitting there in fear, and I was looking at the inside side. I could clearly feel the movement in the lock. I thought in my heart that he would break the lock any moment and come inside. Now what happens is that after a little effort, he leaves the lock and then the same deep silence. My ears were only able to feel the sound outside. Now again, there was complete silence outside. Now the same silence continued for a long time. I felt that there was a person, or whoever it was, standing silently near my cabin. First, he tried to open my cabin, and after that, he stood there and did not leave from there. The matter did not end here. Now something else was left to happen. I could hear the sound of two more people walking in the snow from a distance. Remember, I could not see outside. I was just guessing from the sound. Now when these two people reached the cabin, they were standing there. And then I hear the voices of other people, and I get more scared that one danger has not passed yet, and these two more are coming. They kept walking and reached very close to my cabin where the first person was standing. Now all three of them start talking to each other, but the surprising thing is that they are talking like spring, and the language in which they are talking is not that simple. I keep looking at them. All three of them were watching me from behind, and I left from there. But the matter did not end here. Now a lot was yet to happen. The trouble was not over yet, but it had increased because the visibility was very low due to snowfall, and nothing was visible ahead. Meanwhile, a truck full of black ice skates ahead and gets stuck a little to the side of the road. Now I try a lot to get it out, but it was not moving from its place at all. Now let me tell you that there is a walkie-talkie inside our truck. I called my base from it and told them that my truck was stuck like this, and I was stuck there. So I call there. Now those who were sitting at the base get my location in their system. So they see on the map if there is any workshop near my location. So they call from there. He tried to contact me and told me that there is a workshop 5 kilometers to the east of where you are. You can go there and get help from them because we are not able to contact them. We are also trying to contact them. Well, I tell him that nothing is visible here and the cold is bone-chilling. You can contact them somehow. I could not tell him the whole thing, that normal activities are going on here. Well, now this happened, and I started thinking that if I do not do something myself, then this snowfall is happening. In a few hours, my truck will become so cold that even if someone comes for help, I will be in trouble. I pack myself, wear a jacket, take a heavy-duty torch and walkie-talkie, and go down to find that workshop myself. Now this is the issue, that I had to go back on the same path from which I had come, and I saw that family there, husband, wife, and their son. Well, I kept walking, and when I reached that location, I saw the same footprints of those three who were going towards that path. This was a scary thing for me, but somewhere I also knew who they were. Now where I had to go, those footprints were going there. In the light of that torch, I kept following those footprints and kept walking. You probably also know how difficult it is to walk in the snow. It took about half an hour to walk, and during this time I was also coordinating with my base on the walkie-talkie whether I was going in the right direction. He was also guiding me that you are going absolutely right. Then I see that there is a house in the middle of the same forest, and those footprints are also inside that house. I was openly following those footprints at first, but when I saw that house, I started hiding myself. That house was very, very old, very vintage, and I tried to sneak inside that house through its window to see who these people were and why they lived there. Well, I moved toward the window, but I could not see anyone inside. Now the thing was that the fire was burning in the fireplace in the room, as if someone was in this room. I also peeked through the window of the other room, but I could not see anyone there. I quietly came to the main door of that house and then slowly opened the door. The door opened and I entered inside, hiding myself, and slowly explored each room. But there was no one in the whole room. I had made a mistake here. Anyway, I, for my part, remained silent like James Bond. The phone was on, but the volume of the walkie-talkie with me was full, and then a call came from the other end. Sandeep calling Sandeep calling Sandeep. Why did you stop at this location? Are you okay? Are you fine? As soon as this happened, the sound of a dog barking started coming from outside. I felt that someone was coming towards this house. I immediately hid myself inside a store inside that room and sat down, taking a deep breath. I searched for a place away from that store where I could see inside the room. Then after some time, I saw that the same family had entered that room, and they were smelling strangely and whispering in a strange language. But the surprising thing was that they were blinking their eyes and were just sniffing here and there with strange eyes, as if they had sensed my presence in the room. The child among them was there. He slowly came near my storeroom, and now those people also came in front of the store, taking a smirk. My heart stopped seeing this scene. Maybe they had realized that there was a person hiding there. I looked around quickly. I saw a lantern in that store also, and the problem was that there was a mirror attached to it. I picked up a heavy thing in the dark. I did not know what was in my hand and hit the lantern and quickly jumped out of there and fell on the snow lying outside. Now I felt that the dog, which was probably coming from the main door of the house and was very aggressive, I was hearing its barking. I felt that it was following me. I quickly started running away from there and started climbing up the mountain from there. I was a hideout, but I was hell-bent on my life. Somehow it took about 15 to 20 minutes, and after walking I saw a road, as if the local people had made a small road for their use. Now I asked the control room. They said that there are some houses and workshops and tie shops and motels nearby. I have to go there. I asked them about my truck. Now I was basically in a place where if I had gone ahead in my truck, I would have had to go through this place. But since I had come from the inside, it was a shortcut. Otherwise, when I went with them in their car, it took me about 30 to 35 minutes to reach my truck. Well, they saw my condition. First, they offered me coffee. Now, due to the cold, there was no question of not going, and then they asked me why I was so nervous. They were basically a family, a father, a son, and their daughters, all working in the workshop. Well, I told him the whole story. Then he told me that the place you went to is a haunted house. No one goes there, not even us. It is a family's house. In 1915, an incident happened with them. The jungle dacoits broke into their house and then murdered that family. That family is still seen by people on the highway, and there is a child and husband and wife, but they do not say anything to anyone, but ask for help from people. Well, I am telling that story in very short. He told me in great detail. Now I reached my truck with him, and there he somehow straightened my truck and gave it to me. I thanked him, and then I took the picture of that family. At that time, I used to have a camera, in which the picture would come out in the card as soon as the picture was clicked. When I took that picture, I had to see it. After my story, if your audience gave a good response to my story, then I will also share with you the story that I was stuck in a jungle for 48 hours, and then I was rescued from that jungle after 48 hours. That too is a very scary story. I will share that too with you as a matter of course. But if your audience liked this story, then thank you very much. Sandeep, if you shared your story, then friends, please comment quickly and tell them how you like their story so that they can share their next story with us. So, friends, I hope you liked today's story. If you like the story, then don't forget to like the video. And if you are new to my channel, then if you saw the like button, then like it quickly. Friend, subscribe too. Take good care of yourself. Please remember me in your prayers. I will allow you to do some other interesting stories. Goodbye.